We're looking down at the Wang Yai station area from an Allied Liberator at 25,000 feet. It's January 3rd, 1945, and we can see the entire Wang Yai station, as well as the nearby Tarso POW camp, which we already saw in a previous video. The notations are done by E Group, a part of British intelligence responsible for identifying, locating, and rescuing POWs in the Far East. They have identified this as a POW camp, but circled some of the wrong areas. This was actually the main POW work camp, and you can just see St. George's Cemetery through the trees. This was the hospital camp, and you can see St. Luke's Cemetery here. I believe the area in the center was the Japanese part of the camp. This is where this photo fits into today's landscape. It doesn't overlay perfectly, but close enough. You can see that Wang Yai Station was along the railway here, of course, where there is currently only a small halt where the regular trains don't stop. The huge Tarso POW camp is here, roughly over the Uncle Petch's Farm label on Google Maps. This close-up photo, taken 9 months earlier on 9th of April 1944, shows the camp in great detail. Back at the station, we can see that Wang Yai was no simple station building and passing siding like we saw at Hintok. It is a sprawling complex of sidings and warehouses, probably to support the enormous POW camp. Just to the north of the station, there was a siding on the west side of the main line, leading down to a quarry and splitting into 2 spur tracks where ballast was mined. I'm not sure who was in this part of the camp at the quarry. The quarry spurs were dug down into cuttings to make it easier to load the wagons from above. This is what the cutting looks like today. It's completely overgrown. But looking around at the fields nearby, you can see how much ballast material could be mined here and why this site was chosen. This ballast would have been used on flat parts of the railway where there were no rock cuttings or rock work to provide broken rocks. In areas like Hellfire Pass, there was an abundance of broken rock for ballast, but in the flat areas around here, and again between Kinsayok and Prangkasi, for example, there was little to use for ballast. Near the north end of the station area, we see bridge Q624, which was actually 3 short parallel bridges where the main line and 2 sidings crossed a stream. There is a large building, possibly the station building itself, right in the center of the station area between the sidings. Towards the south end of the station, remember this area, these 2 slightly offset buildings and this south-facing spur track, right where all the sidings split off from the main line. We'll come back to this in a moment. Beyond the south end of the station, the railway curves to the east and passes over the 60-foot-long bridge Q625. This photo was taken on 24th of March 1945 from 4,000 feet during an Allied attack on the station. You can see bombs bursting directly across the tracks in the middle of the station area. It looks like that big building has taken a direct hit. There are many wagons in the sidings, and we have a good view of the triple bridges at Q624. The north end of the station looks like it could be a Japanese transit camp. And this remarkable photo was snapped by a British Liberator from the 215th Squadron from only 300 feet as it passes over Wang Yai on 10th of December 1944. The main line here is coming up from Whampoa and starts splitting into all the sidings. This is that south-facing spur I mentioned earlier, and here are the 2 slightly offset buildings. But what really caught my eye is the Type 100 diesel rail lorry parked in the siding, with 4 wagons. These lorries were used extensively during construction of the railway and for light duties during the war, but were very rarely caught in Allied photographs during the war. Unfortunately, almost nothing remains from the war. This shot shows the area as it was in December 2025. The mini-map on the left shows today's Google Maps, and on the right is the same area as it was in early 1945. The little red marker shows where we are standing and the direction we're facing. The triple bridges at the north end of the station have been replaced by the one modern steel bridge on the single track which remains. However, at the 60-foot-long Q625, the original concrete footings can still be found in the stream bed under the current steel bridge. You can see them in this shot. And that's all for this quick look at the Wang Yai area. We'll close the video with a view of the morning train from Kanchanaburi as it passes over Bridge Q625 and through the Wang Yai halt area. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.